Oh shit, I forgot to share it. Hello everybody. I'm doing sort of just a sort of like a loose off cuff, whatever you want to call it, just a live stream. Um hopefully interactive, but I don't know who's up this late, man. It's pretty late. you know. Um let me I just want to present my video here. So I'm going to watch more of the Third Adam 3 Rise of the Divine Feminine. Rise of the Divine Feminine. That's this. What is this guy's name? I can't. Spencer something or otherness. I don't know. Um, and I got. Let's see. So I got this video here. It's Third Adam 3 Rise of the Divine Feminine. And that's what we're watching. So it's
charge. She's the angry one. She's the wicked one. And he's just kind of like the spineless, wicked guy who just goes along with whatever she says.
Biden knows a stronger America is one that works for women.
And women, largely on a scale never seen before, are being called to rise up and throw off this system that we now live in. And it's happening to a degree and on such a large scale, such as has never been seen before.
The fuck does that mean?
Here to get you to rise, to rise, to get you to see beyond.
God damn it! So he's, I mean, he's always like, yeah. Every time that we move forward, as far as like any kind of progress goes, yeah, we're gonna be farther than we've ever been before, man. Like that's the way, because time is linear. Dude, if you just answer any question with because time is linear, it's gonna piss somebody off. And I love answering questions with I don't know, because fucking time's linear. What do you it's a dick move, but I love it.
The serpent is the spirit of the divine feminine energy.
Oh god. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna have to combat from both sides here. That's stupid and crazy too. Because I mean he's looking at people that are doing like witchcraft stuff, which is obviously dumb. And I guess he seems to be pretty upset about Lady Liberty too. Why she gotta be a woman? Huh? Why couldn't it be Mr. Liberty? I mean, talk about a superhero name that's like actually sounds good in my time. Jesus Christ. What is he doing?
For any man to successfully enter into a warfare, he has to understand and Satan. There's no.
What? It's like every time it goes over one of the like I don't have any fucking ads, but it's like every time it gets to a like ad break where it's like, oh, an ad would go here. It's like, oh shit. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so we'll come for
For any man to successfully enter into a warfare, he has to understand his enemy. And our enemy is Satan. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, I thought he was going to say it was women.
And so to understand his tactics, we have to go back and look at his track record. How does Satan work? And I fear that most people today are unwilling to objectively evaluate his tactics because they could find something that's not necessarily politically correct. And so let's just go see what the Bible actually has to say. And so here in the garden, you have the woman, you have the man, you have animals. And
gotta find out what it's actually gonna say. Talk normal, man. What the fuck? Come on, dude.
Plants. Now, if you've ever seen those videos where people set up these thousands of dominoes, and
you got to talk like a surfer, bro, dude. Okay, otherwise they're talking weird. All right, that's apparently I talk like a surfer, bro. I don't. That's I do not mean to do that. It's just sort of
they set it up in some elaborate
I live in
design.
Florida.
All of that comes down because they flick one domino over, and the whole thing comes down. And a lot of people have done a lot of interesting videos on that. But in a sense, Satan did the same thing when he looked at the Garden of Eden.
That's because time is linear.
And he said, what is the one thing that I can attack that will take down everything? Well, Satan chose to go after the woman because he knew if he got the woman, then he got everything. And the whole entirety of creation.
Women don't have access to animals or
so
plants.
Whatever you believe, it doesn't matter. The truth is, Satan chose to attack women. And that's not something that's like demeaning to women. Really, what that is, that's something that shows the value that women have. And so God comes on the scene, and of course, he has to.
So now we're back to the gaslighting. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that women are less valuable. It's just they have a specific role, which is to shut up and do what they're told, and that's because they're special. Jesus Christ!
To judge sin because he's a holy God, and so this is the structure that God set up after the fall. Now we understand that Satan loves to go after women. That is his favorite tactic. So what did God do?
Why do we have a fucking whiteboard? Really?
A godly man between Satan and the woman. And so
has like anybody else ever used a fucking whiteboard on a documentary before like this? This is ridiculous. Like he's acting like he's teaching well, actually it reminds me of like church classes that I had to take for a long time of my life. So I mean, I guess it tracks. But man, this is a fucking documentary, dude. Like, why are you using a goddamn whiteboard, dude? Like, isn't there like you have all these special effects stuff that you can do, and you're like, nah, I'm going with the fucking whiteboard, man.
So now, if Satan wants to go after women, there is a safeguard in place now to defend her from the attack of Satan, and it's the godly husband. Now, many people today look at this structure here that God created and say that this is demeaning to women. And those who reject Christianity, they would call this patriarchy.
In the simplest terms, patriarchy is a social system that values masculinity over femininity. This type of social system dictates that men are entitled to be in charge and dominate women.
So patriarchy is a society or institution marked by the supremacy of the father.
And the truth is God is good.
Oh,
and
my
this
good
is not
damn, dude. Like, you read your own fucking book. Women were put in the property section. Okay, there was like, if a woman got raped, it wasn't like, oh man, you just literally like fucked up, like you hurt another human being. No, you just damaged somebody's property, whether it was the father or the fucking husband. And then you want to be like, we're not demeaning. Fucking asshole.
Some designed to oppress women. This is a design to protect women. And the reason is because this entity right here is always trying to go after that entity right there. That's his favorite tactic. That's what he's always trying to do.
Because of the magic. That's look, it's not my fault. Look, the magic demon goes after the. Oh my good God, it's all made up, man. Holy shit, is it obviously made up? She's talking to a fucking snake right now. How? All right, I gotta calm down. That's what I gotta do.
And Satan knows that if he can get her, then he can get everybody.
You've done this 4 times now.
This is a consistent theme all throughout the Bible.
And
really,
your videos.
This whole concept does not demean women in the slightest. This actually shows how vitally important women are. And if women weren't important, then why is Satan going after them like he does? It's because even Satan knows that the woman.
Why is the magical unicorn doing it then? I don't know. Like, because it's all made up and you're just deciding stuff based on your made up mythology, man. None of it's real. Like, that's why. Because you can just decide that any magical being can do whatever the fuck you think it should be or not be doing. Oh my good God.
If he's got her, then he's got everybody.
So my job was to let
they're
the court
sneaky.
see
They're
that
sneaky.
these
And they can
classifications
get
more often put women not on a pedestal, but in a cage.
Yeah, and she's right. It's just gaslighting, man. What is with these long pauses? Home.
So once Adam and Eve are banished from the garden, they have to go out and start a family and build a life together. And God had an order and a design for the
Did we do this
home.
part?
And this is what it looked like.
Oh, we got a new
that
one.
Christ is the head of the family, of course, and that Christ is head of the man, man is head of the woman, and the woman is the head of the children. And this was God's design. And so if Satan is going to attack the home, he's going to do the same thing he did in the garden.
Lowest. That makes no sense, man. Why if Satan's gonna go attack the home and needs to get to all these people, he's gonna go to the bottom of the fucking barrel, the person only over the goddamn child. What are you talking about? How stupid! Like even in your own fucking system, this doesn't make sense, man. Why would he go? Why would he go after like the second to the bottom goddamn rung? Like you might as well just because if you go after the kids, then the kids are really convincing to everybody. What the fuck are you? What?
He's going to go after the woman. And so what's happening today is that Satan is going after these women. And he's saying that this whole structure here is demeaning and it is degrading to women, and that women should be raised up to the next level.
Oh my God!
It's a pecking order from the origins of our country.
So now we're doing semantics. Look, rise up. Oh man, I just said just a second ago they want to rise up to a level of a thing that I made up based on these videos that I'm gonna play to make it seem like I'm right. As long as I play them in the right order, it's gonna look like they're totally just doing it because of what I said and not me because of what they said.
Country to now that certain men would have certain jobs and they all agreed on what the sequence would be.
Our planet is being neglected, and that's all because the feminine energy has been suppressed.
And so what women do oftentimes is they actually reject this whole paradigm, calling it patriarchy and whatever. And they are saying that we need to rise.
Yours is more bullshit, though, for keeping track.
To at least the same level with the man and be equal with the man.
Yeah, that'd be fucking fabulous,
Feminism
man.
is not trying to take from men, but just trying to raise the same level of what men have.
They're like, look, she's got short hair. She's got the short kinds of hairs. I mean, that's just blasphemous.
And just to be clear, being a feminist does not mean that I wish to push down or talk poorly of men.
And that ends up looking something like this.
Oh my good God. That's the infinity symbol. What is infinity? It means infinity, man. It means 3.14, whatever fucking, because, actually a circle, the reason that they have that is because it's all the corners, all the corners of a circle is infinite because it's a circle. Sorry. Oh, man, I'm tired. But, this shit helps me. It centers me,
And so what happens is that women want to break free from this structure.
The boxy fucking, oh man.
And they want to rise to be what they say is equal with the man.
Yes.
And see, it's the same tactic that Satan used in the garden. He said, you be your own.
All humans should be, man. It's insane that you're just like, this whole video is to make some kind of weird art. Wow, I paused that perfectly. Look at that face. That is a fucking face right there. But like he made this whole video just to be like, they are not equal. Like they literally, we're not saying they're not equal, but let me make an entire fucking however goddamn long this shit is, a movie of why they're not fucking equal. 2-something hours. Like Jesus Christ. Just to say they're not fucking equal, but they actually are more than not equal because of, all the magical stuff, I think.
God, and basically he was saying that you're down here, but you could go and be your own God. You could raise
Wonder Woman
in this system.
That was a really
but
bad
because
one.
of some structure that you're in,
oh, there's comments.
You're being restricted and put down, and you need to rise up.
Thousands-year-old patriarchy that needs to be disposed of and brought into balance.
The serpent is here
like that.
to get you to rise. To rise.
It's like, have you ever had, when you have somebody like fucking lie to you and you're just like, how stupid do you think I am? Like, you obviously think, and I get this a lot. I don't know if it's just my personality. I think it's because I don't know. I play like I'm kind of dumb a lot, I think it's more that I'm just super ADD and I'm not very good at talking. But it's a podcaster saying, but no, but I'm just, I'm just crazy and zany. So people think I'm dumb, and then they lie to me, and I'm just like, you get that? Like, you're just telling me that you think I'm fucking stupid enough to believe your obvious nonsense, right? Like, you get like that I get that, right? But they don't get that you get that. They just actually think that. They just actually think you're that fucking stupid. And that's what this whole thing is. For women, though, for an entire fucking gender. My good God. Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing how stupid he thinks people are. And we're not, though. Dude, you're the stupid one with a whole lot of fucking cameras and video clips of God knows why. I don't even know where the fuck you're getting this shit.
And this move from here to here is what is called in the occultic world the rise of the divine feminine.
Oh, we've reached.
Is the spirit of the divine feminine energy.
Okay. Well, that's stupid too. Well, okay. It's so I don't, I hate like competing stupids, but his is so much worse because at least she's like not like trying to hurt people, and
but the common thread of mystery religion is that they believe in what they call dualities. And basically what they believe is that there's opposite energies in the universe. There's good and bad, light and dark.
Does he not know what duality is? Is he like saying that duality is something else than like consciousness, that is something that exists with it, like the ghost that drives the machine? Because that's what duality means. I don't know what he knows or doesn't know. It's pretty odd. I don't even think he knows what he knows or doesn't know.
By merging these two, they can bring what they call balance or wholeness to their lives. And really, in modern pop culture, the most prominent example of this is Star Wars. You have Darth Vader on one side, and he's the dark side. And then you have Luke Skywalker on the other side. He is the light side. And they always talk about trying to bring balance to the force.
Look, I've done shrooms enough times to know that all reality is all based on two opposing sides, like two magnetic poles, and that's why reality exists, because the two magnetic pole. Like, don't look at me like that. You're looking at me like I'm. Just stop, okay? Look, I'm sure, a scientist person would agree, okay, about the shrooms told me.
Force. Well, where did they get that? Well, they got that from Eastern mystical esoteric religions.
The force basically came from, distilling all of the religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, go all around the world, all through time, finding the similarities, and then creating an easy to deal with metaphor for what religion is.
Another example of this is the yin yang, and this is a very prominent symbol in martial arts. What is that? It's a duality.
That's oh God. I mean, that's good for like movie writing, which he's fairly good at. I would say. I actually like his stuff. George Lucas, that is, not this fucking guy. But you know, it makes good movies, and that was a good like point. If it's in the whole realm of writing a movie, you know, but like anything other than that, you're like, oh, okay, come on, man.
Two opposing forces meant to be brought together, merged together to bring balance. And in modern New Age religion, which is just another derivative of esoteric mysticism and the occult, they talk about the divine masculine.
You're throwing a bunch of big words at me, and since I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect.
And the divine feminine.
What?
So what you have basically is two opposing.
How do you do this much explaining?
This one is biblical.
How the fuck do you do this much explaining and still sound like just nothing? You haven't said anything this entire fucking movie, man. Oh my god. I think I might need to send this over to Noah and let him do this on God Awful Movie.
And this one is esoteric in nature. I want to just give you the difference between the two. This one is God's way, and we'll call this order. But the one on this side, where the woman rises up and becomes equal with the male, we're going to call this one. You have order, and then you have balance.
We need this balance, this equilibrium, equanimity between the energies.
Feminism literally just means you believe in equality of the sexes.
It's basic.
So in
it's
the
real
esoteric
simple.
world, when they're talking about balance, this is what they're speaking of, because they view man being above woman as an oppression of women, or
It fucking demonstrably.
down of women.
Oh my god, damn! It fucking demonstrably is that. Like when you have the book that your religion is based on spawned into another religion called Islam, and they can't even leave their fucking house without a fucking child as long as it's a male. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? It's demonstrably oppressive. Like, we have so much evidence of that. I mean, the fact that you know, abortion, like right now, is like they're banning it all over the goddamn country, to the point where like there's a woman in prison because she did meth and got raped. And they were like, oh, but you killed the fucking rape baby by doing meth. And so you're a fucking murderer. And she's in like prison for murder. Tell me that's not fucking oppressive. What the hell is wrong with you?
Has been the dominant energy for at least the last 5,000 years. We know of the existence of the goddess energy, the feminine energy, that within each one of us is yin and yang.
Nonsense.
So there's black and white, there's dark and light in each one of us.
Still better than yours, though, man.
And so they want to bring these two into balance.
Comparing.
And so this is how they see everything. They see men above women, and they want to rise the feminine up to the man so that they're equal, and that this duality.
It's so funny how they, like, in order to make this video, he has to find the wackiest of the women. You know? Like, look at this lady saying crazy stuff, right? You know, and it's like, yeah, man, what she's saying is pretty zany. But like, come on, man, you're so much worse. Yours is with the 2,000-year-old carpenter ghost that you think lives inside you. Yours is worse. It's worse.
Reality is made whole.
What is that supposed to mean? Be in power. It's not that a woman shouldn't be in power. It's not that one can lead better than the other. It's that the energies within them must be balanced to be good leaders.
And really, those who are in this worldview,
I actually would. Okay,
when they look at the
like,
biblical
as silly
order
as
that God.
Okay, as silly as all that stuff sounds, that actually makes pretty good sense. You know, as far as like a balance, like you need to have a balance between the two in a relationship. If like you're whatever you're doing, you're trying to like make, you know, get things done or whatever, you know, you want some kind of balance. You want to bounce your ideas off her, and she wants to bounce ideas off you, and then you decide collectively on what you should or should not do. That is a good idea, and that's what I got from what she was saying. I don't know what religion or I don't even know, like Wiccan or whatever that she believes in. But it sounds a hell of a lot more reasonable than this idiot.
This is all they see, is that men being above women, and the only reason they give is, okay, he's above me because of his gender, and that's the only thing that they see.
A suppression of the goddess and a suppression of the moon.
And from their point of view, that does make sense, because I mean, who wants to?
It's what they're saying. It's like, and I know Friends is like kind of like the show Friends is has a lot of problematic shit, and it does. But it was like all I watched for like a decade, but because that's all I had available to watch. I had a DVD player and 10 seasons of that show. But anyway, there's like one episode where like, Phoebe, Rachel, and Monica are all reading these books, like called something like Know the Goddess Inside You or something like that. And they're like doing like all of this stuff of like, oh, the goddess, this, that, and the other. And then the men take your wind and you're not can't say. And it was just real, like they were clearly making it silly on purpose, but that's exactly what this sounds like. Just saying. I don't know.
Be under a man just because he's a man. I mean, that nobody would go for that. But here's the part that they're missing. They're missing the fact that this is God's order, and that Christ is ahead of the man, and the man is ahead of the woman, and woman is to be head of the children.
They're missing.
And this is God's order. And what you have really is a problem with society, where you have men who aren't living for Christ and aren't following Christ. And so these women, they see these men, but they don't see Christian men or godly men. They don't even see Christ. And so to them, in their mind, who wants to submit to all these godless men? And quite frankly, I can't blame them.
I don't think that's the problem, man.
Nation.
It's like, yeah, because if the men are of Christ, then the women want to submit to them, and that's evidenced by look at all the women in the church. I mean, look at Candace Owens; she would agree with me. It's like, oh man, how fucking weird. Okay,
and that's simply not what we have right now.
I mean, who wants to submit to a guy just because he's a guy? And so they break out of that, and they rise up to be equal with the man. And so our God is a God of order. But anytime you hear people talking esoteric talk, they will always use words like...
Were they trying to say Trump is or is not the man that they're supposed to submit to? I'm completely lost on that clip. Was it just her being disrespectful to the man? But I mean, if it was because he had just said that the man wasn't submitting to Christ, he's trying to say that he doesn't think that Trump was submitting to Christ. Because then why the fuck did you vote for him, man? Because you fucking voted for him, man. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Balance. And these two are opposing worldviews. Now, when a person breaks free from God's design for life, there are actually unintended consequences there. Now, I want to show you what they are. If you notice here on this side, there's 4 sections, but on this side, there's only 2. What sections are missing? Well, you have Christ and the child are missing. So let's place them down here. In this system, Christ and children belong and they fit.
Oh,
but in
they're not
this
over here.
system, they do not. And the truth is, anytime someone goes from here to here, rejecting this format, and they embrace this format, they always end up hating Christ, and they have no use for children.
They have no use for them. And I mean, honestly, that's why we eat them, because they're. I mean, first of all, it tastes good. I mean, it's good tender meat. But second of all, it's because of whatever he just said. I don't fucking know.
And that's probably why they abort them so much. So what is the rise of the divine feminine? Well, it's pretty simple. The rise of the divine feminine is a shift in mindset from a biblical worldview to an occultic worldview.
I know, right? You're not supposed to use children. Come on. like say you just gotta have. Oh man, it's so fucked up. Like what? Here's my question. And I don't know if I've asked this on this show before, but like I want to make sure I ask this question again to the next time I have a conservative available to ask this, because if like if they think that like nobody should have an abortion, right? Then like there's women that have conditions, right? Like there's like blood conditions and stuff like where you can't, your blood won't clot and stuff like that, like to where you literally can't, like if you give birth, it's a death sentence. Are they supposed to just never have sex ever? That's my question. I don't know.
It is the rejection of Bible Christianity and a biblical worldview by saying that there's some injustice in this, and they call it patriarchy or whatever, to embrace fully an occultic or satanic worldview. That is the rise of the divine feminine. She goes from here, rising up to here.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? None of this actually makes sense. Like, just because you draw pictures on a fucking whiteboard for your fucking movie doesn't mean it actually makes sense. Oh, God. This is frustrating. It's frustrating. It's like it hurts my head to watch this almost.
And so what is the divine
this
feminine? What does that even mean? And the problem is
I
that
don't know, man.
we as God's
You
people,
brought
we
it up.
think biblically, but we're trying to understand a group of people who don't. And these concepts oftentimes are very foreign.
Because we think in reality? Is that why? It's like... Hold on. Oh, that's so terrible. No, they're just supposed to die. Oh, God, that's so gross, man. Ugh. That's sick. Who the fuck? That bothers me right there. Because, like, they think that sex is only for one thing, and that's it. It's just, ugh. Oh, wow. Good catch, dude. Like, I wasn't even watching the costumes. Damn. You're right. Wow. Good. Okay, I'm gonna have to start paying attention to things more. Because you're right. Why is he all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, I'm not wearing the same thing I was. Well, as long as I look nice, nobody will notice. My God, that's funny. How did I know?
It's pretty simple. It is an Eastern mystical concept that has to do with masculine energy and feminine energy. Now, this is not a biblical concept. This is an esoteric concept. Now, as we explained in Third Adam 2, mystery religion is always moving. It's always changing and evolving.
Esoteric, isn't that like... fuck, I always forget. It's like esoteric and exoteric. One of them's like, it's weird. It's just a weird belief that people have. I always mix those up. I can't remember. And what is that? Then what is the other one then? What, not weird? Like just not like just normal? I don't know, man. I don't know. I forget.
And it's taking on different names as it goes.
Do you remember, Andrew?
It always changes. It's like it's evolving constantly. The occultic world is obsessed with unity and what they call balance. God demands order, but Satan tries to give balance. You see, they say that...
Yeah, it's almost like he thinks that people should have equal rights, whether they're a different religion from you or not. I know, it's fucking crazy. It's just mind-boggling, that a country full of like multiple types of people should all be able to be treated equally under the fucking law. You dumb shit.
things in the book of Genesis. And the goal of the occult is to merge back what God has divided. And when these divisions, which what they call are dualities, are brought back together,
you don't get
and
that
merged
word
back together, then balance is achieved. And that's the whole goal. Some even call it wholeness. You are broken, but now you're put back together. And one thing people really don't understand about the Lord is that God is a divider. He always has been. God is a divider, but Satan is a uniter. Satan's always trying to merge back the things that God has divided.
Who are you arguing for? Are you on Team Satan now? Like, what, are you literally saying that? Oh no, God's like he needs to divide things because we need to rule all these like bad people. Like, what the fuck? How do like make unity a bad thing? Wow. And it sounds like he's arguing against just the most reasonable I mean, I guess I shouldn't, that tracks. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess I can. Yeah. that actually makes sense. It's like, yeah, he's arguing against the most reasonable thing because, like, what he believes is complete fucking bad shit.
God is a divider. Satan is a uniter. It's just that simple. Now, when we talk about the rise of the divine feminine, we understand what that looks like and what people are doing. They're basically rejecting a biblical worldview and going into an esoteric worldview. But we had to kind of really nail down what is the divine feminine. And we went through volumes of information, reading stuff from the secular world to psychology.
Oh, good. Okay, hold on. We got esoteric here because I'm not I'm completely lost on the matter. I completely forget. What? Okay, esoteric. Intended for or likely to be understood by only a small. Okay, so it is like the weird stuff. A small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. Okay, so this is it. All okay. So it's like right along the grand conspiracy shit, right? Of like, hey, only this one group of people is the ones that actually knows, and they caused 9/11. Yeah, of course they did. Because. Why wouldn't you cause 9/11? I don't know.
Into New Age mysticism and just
thank you.
We went through volumes of information.
That was very helpful.
And the tricky part about mystery religion is that it's so fluid. It changes all the time. And 5 different people will be talking and using 5 different terms for the same thing. And that's really why it's so difficult to nail down. And when the divine
I know it's almost like it sounds like your fucking religion, man. Holy shit. Whoops, sorry. Whoa, man. Hey, you okay? The puppy's all right, so I'm good. All right.
And rises in these people. There are 3 universal spiritual attributes that all of them have. And let me show you what these spiritual attributes are. The first,
highfalutin for knowledge. Okay. Yeah. It really does have like the grand conspiracy kind of thing, because it's like everybody wants to have knowledge that other people don't have, right? Like that's like one of the most normal human things, right? It's just like wanting to be the one that knows the stuff, It's like, I mean, that's what's kind of funny is that's like his whole thing is that he's literally using a whiteboard to demonstrate that he's the one that knows the stuff that other people don't know. But he's just like, but nah, ours is the one that's so normal and right and true. It's blood magic. What? You're weird. You're the weird one.
Universal attribute is that every single one of these people become mystical in nature. And true mysticism is not based on any written document. A true mystic hates being bound by any creed or any dogma or any biblical text.
I thought it was Buddhist.
Their theological views are shaped by experience.
Isn't mysticism like Buddhism basically? Where it's like just chakras and shit. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that too. I don't know, but so I don't know what esoteric means. So it's possible. I don't know what that. No, but yeah, I don't know. It seems to me all the like I have a doctor. I'm about to not have a doctor because he's, he's all about aligning my chakras. And I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice because I'm so tired of looking for doctors that aren't batshit fucking crazy in Florida here, because they're all nuts. They're all nuts. I don't know. Like, how did you make it through medical school if you can't fucking you don't know critical thinking and just basic logic? It just the way studies work, and the like p value and p hacking and stuff like that, which is all he seems to really think is actually true, is anything that's been p hacked. Oh God, it's so frustrating.
Rather than creed.
God shows up for me in very practical, real ways. Like I work. That's how I meet with God. But I didn't love to open the Bible and read the Bible for hours a day. Or I'd go see a cow being born, and I would really feel like I experienced God in those moments.
I mean, it's clearly a symbol for the third Adam, 3, whatever the It's so funny too, because the first one's called Third Adam. I was like, I messed up because I was looking for First Adam. And they're like, oh no, it's Third Adam Part 3. And the first one was called just Third Adam. Fuck, who knows why? Like, it's
Can't wait to see what you're gonna do and where you're gonna take me. There's a whole nother world. There's a whole nother world that we can't see. Take us up tonight, God. Take us up tonight.
I'm about to have a fucking flashback right here. Like, holy shit! What? What is what? I think it's like, look, it's like drugs. It's like the drugs thing, and they're on drugs. They're all just crazy. I'm normal. You're the one on drugs. Oh man, it's so sad when people's brain, like, if it even was the case, that it's so sad that their brains work better, even as fucking, on drugs as they are, than his brain. That doesn't seem to work very well. It's the confidence thing. I feel like people, if you can just gracefully be wrong, like, I'm great at being wrong. I have gotten that fucking down. And you know what? It served me quite well throughout my life. Just recently anyway. Because holy shit, man, you got to be able to be wrong. Like, that is, wow. That is something that you need to be able to do. And this guy he just, no, every stupid, crazy fucking thought comes straight from the creator of the goddamn universe. Jesus.
It has no universal written creed. That's kind of what makes it difficult to identify. They don't want that.
What?
Now, Helena Blavatsky was the leader of a group called the Theosophists.
No, hold on. No, we're going back. No. We're going back. It's all right. We're going to figure this out together.
I can't wait to see what you're gonna do and where you're gonna take me. There's a whole nother world. There's a whole nother world that we can't see. Take us up tonight, God. Take us up tonight.
And really, because it has no universal.
Okay. Which side? Okay. Is that okay? Is that a sex toy on the wall on the right side of the screen? Oh. Okay, I see it. If you're into BDSM, yeah, sure, yep. I mean, that would I'm used to whips and stuff, so like the ball and chain, like with the ball on the end with the spike, we could do without the spikes. Maybe just the just a big heavy ball. That would. I really like whips. Honestly, I think whips actually work the best. For that sort of thing, because that's a lot to explain at work. No, they don't want to hear that. No, man, it's a sex thing, man. So what? Why are you looking at me? It was awesome. Okay.
Written creed. That's kind of what makes it difficult to identify. They don't want that. Now, Helena Blavatsky was the leader of a group called the Theosophists, and she started a religion called Theosophy. And one of her disciples was a lady named Alice Bailey. And Alice Bailey is known today
All right, first
as
of all,
the mother
Alice
of New
Bailey
Age.
has got the awesomest fucking hair in all of existence. Holy shit, that's thick. Wow. Look at that, man. Could you imagine that like permed like out? Like, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive hair. I totally lost track of what we were even talking about.
Religion.
I'm so
and
bad.
Alice Bailey wrote in a book called The Externalization of the Hierarchy. This is what she put in print. She said, therefore, in the New World Order, spirituality will supersede theology. Living experience will take the place of theological acceptances. And that sums up beautifully the idea.
Let me read that one. What? Hold on. Therefore, in the New World Order, buzzword, spirituality, buzzword, will supersede, they probably don't even know what that means. Theology, living experience will take the place of theological acceptances. So, yeah, like, and as it fucking should. What do you mean? Like that? that's like of course, because then it demonstrates that theology's fucking stupid, man. Yeah, like, yeah, us demonstrating things are true is gonna outweigh the fucking moron with the whiteboard, like this guy.
Of mysticism is that they absolutely have hatred and disdain for any written dogma, creed, or even the Bible. And they may use the Bible sometimes to prove a point. When they do,
are you trying to say it's not a dogmatic creed? He's like, any dogma, creed, or even the Bible. What? Yeah, the Bible's literally both those words that you just said, man. It's a fucking dogmatic creed.
Such an allegorical, mystical sense that their hermeneutic is so bad, it's almost laughable.
It's kind of almost like yours. Am I supposed to read this? Oh, you're not going to read it for me? All right. We've got this Noah instinct, this drive in us to build arks and shut ourselves in with our own kind. Then we shut ourselves further in with our phones. Then we get claustrophobic, bored, and wonder why. Open a window and watch for a dove with an olive twig. There's life out there. Huh, I actually kind of like that. That's, yeah, I actually, yeah, that's kind of neat. I like that. I like that part. I like this part of the movie. Wow, you're not reading anything. God damn it. Okay, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. Oh, I hate when they put the word sound in there like that. You know, sound means true or likely true, right? and you put it by doctrine and the context of this nonsense, and it's just mentally infuriating without even having to try. Like, okay, but after their own lusts, lusts, you can't pluralize lust, can you? Okay, all right, whatever. Shall they keep to themselves teachers having itching ears? Wait, what? Oh, okay. So they're basically like, they're just gonna find people and tell them what they want to hear. It's nothing like religion. Nothing like Daily fucking Wire or anything else. That's hilarious. It's like, no, it's everybody else doing it. It's not me. Oh my god. Fuck. All right. Jesus Christ. I'm tired of reading. What is happening here? All right. For the time will come when they want to, this is saying having itching ears, and they shall turn. Why would you change the frame to do this? Okay, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. This is ironic as all goddamn get out. Holy shit. The irony here is it's thick as molasses. This is my God. Wow. That's pretty funny, actually. Like it's just, man, everything they're saying is literally the opposite. It's literally that, it's projection. Like nothing else. Oh my God.
The second universal attribute of people whose divine feminine has risen is that they become overwhelmingly sensual in nature. Now, the basic definition of sensuality is just doing what gratifies your flesh. And when the divine feminine is risen in somebody,
don't say flesh like that. Don't say flesh. That's inappropriate. That's like, I already feel like you're coming on to me, and I back off, bro. Back off. All right. I'm in a relationship. Okay. And yeah, don't say that word like that. That is creepy. It's creepy. Just don't do it.
They are overwhelmingly loving, and they're even overwhelmingly positive.
Shit.
But sensuality is a.
I apologize. Let me get to these. I gotta get better at paying attention to stuff. You know, it's almost like I need ADD meds that my spiritualist doctor won't fucking give me anymore. TLDR, touch grass. Yeah. That's good. The churches I grew up in, this is Angier. The churches I grew up in would use this verse to criticize other churches or denominations. I know, right? That's what's so God, it's so funny. It's the Spider-Man meme, you know. They're like, you're the one who says no, you're the one that's fucking. No, man, it's all of y'all. It's all of y'all being stupid and thinking that you're smart. And everybody else is fucking wrong but you. My God, like, just snap out of it, man. Your brain's in a cage. That sucks, man. What a terrible way to live. To me, the word flesh makes me think of like Hannibal Lecter. Oh God! Every time I think of like Hannibal Lecter, and it sucks because it's not the good movie out of all of them. Was the one where he feeds the guy to the pig, or he gets eaten by the pigs? The one guy, Gary Oldman, that was all mutilated. That one was gross, man. What a gross movie! Holy shit! The Silence of the Lambs is fucking awesome. What a good movie. What an excellent fucking plot, and just like perfectly executed. Just everything about it was awesome. And then that fucking movie was disgusting. It was like they missed the point of why we liked Silence of the Lambs, or for me anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. Ugh, God, that movie. And Nikki was like, let's watch Hannibal. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can stomach that movie again, man. That shit was disgusting. The fuck, man. It's like the most gruesome irony. Like, and I liked the irony in it at the end of the day, because you like Hannibal. I mean, sort of, I mean, kind of, I guess. I mean, you like him as a character, right? Even though he's sick and everything, right? And the bad guy, but you kind of like him as the bad. He's like the Joker, you know, the one that Benjamin doesn't like, but still.
Form of love that is detached from truth.
Wait. How do you have love that's detached from truth? You're like, you don't actually love them? Like, oh, and I love this font. This is like my favorite font for my stuff. Anyway, and this, well, I gotta read it here. And this wisdom descendeth, okay, not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. James 3:15. That's in James, really? I thought his whole thing was about like working, like doing this stuff. Like his basically was like James was the antithesis of the rest of the Bible. The rest of it is like, you're saved by grace through faith, not works. lest any man should boast. And James like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to make a whole fucking chapter or book actually on nope. You guys are stupid. What? What was that? Are we supposed to know what these clips are? I'm starting to wonder. Like, was I supposed to know what the fuck that shit was? Who's just beating drums that are hanging out in midair like that? Like, with just, they're just like just sideways, like a bass drum without a kick. You know, like what is happening? Jesus. And we're supposed to, yup. Oh, that's the evidence right there. What? Of what? What is happening?
And it's self-gratifying and it's self-serving. And really, that's one of the things about sensuality is that it's always pretending to be a form of love, but it's not. The type of love that it is not in line with how the Bible defines love.
Love is cold and dark. It's actually really gross, and you just kind of learn to hate them and live with it. So what are you talking about? Like, really? What the fuck? That's oh man, even worse than mine. Yes. Oh man, I'm glad you're here to enjoy this because this is actually pretty fun. I'd love it if I weren't insane, but I can't help it.
I've been so filled with love this year that I just feel completely love drunk. You
Look
guys
at,
know that.
look, he's got. Wait, isn't that fucking? I think we are supposed to. Hold on. God damn it. The things, it's glitching. Isn't that? I thought he was a Christian. Isn't that the dude from Korn? I think we are supposed to know who all these people are. Now I'm like, fuck. This is like an episode of Community if I was like born in some decade that wasn't perfectly suited for me. All right, I'll try this one more time. All right, here we go. Wisdom is descended from not above, but earthly sensual devil. Because she's beating the floating drum. Got it. So sensual. That's sensual right there. Guiding you through spirituality.
And it's self-gratifying and it's self-serving. And really, that's one of the things about sensuality is that it's always pretending to be a form of love. But it
certainly looks like
the
it.
type of love that it is not in line with how the Bible defines love.
The Bible defines love as fucking God. And they're just like, that's it. We're done talking. That's the Bible defined love. God is love. And then they're like, I'm done talking. And you're just supposed to be like, yeah, that's meaningless. What? God's nebulous nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Well, maybe she was doing a Roseanne bit. I don't know. So that lady was doing a suck my dick bit. That's an old Chester. I'm sorry, not bit, but it was an old bit from Roseanne. That was before she completely lost her goddamn gourd, and was actually a decent comic for like, a time. But wow, not anymore. Holy shit. But yes.
I've been so filled with love this year that I just feel completely love drunk. You guys know that lovesick feeling where you can't stop thinking about that certain person.
Oh, you feel this? Bliss, is that
euphoria?
Isn't that the
butterfly?
I thought that's not the guy from Korn that became Christian or whatever. Anyway, and then he did like some weird, like trying to be Korn but Christian band. Like, but this Korn, like if they were good, according to me, not that Korn was good. I mean, they weren't terrible. The slap bass was all right sometimes.
I swear, you guys, this feeling has never been this intense for me.
Oh, he's tripping balls, dude. That dude was fucking and the coloration you're right. The coloring they're using here is like everybody's on fucking acid. Like, no, actually, you know what? Acid's tame. This is on fucking hardcore mescaline. Like, it's like when you take way too much mescaline and then you're like, oh, fuck, I took too much mescaline. That's what everything here looks like. I know, you get it. You get it, right, Andrew? You get it. She gets it. She does. She's done it.
I'm not speaking religious. Jesus Christ is the lover of every human being's soul.
It is him.
Jesus loves our souls.
I knew it.
He loves our souls kind of like a husband loves
dick.
his bride.
Well, I mean,
People who are sensual in nature are often seeking what feels good instead of what is good. They
You're
are
playing
literally seeking to gratify their senses, and the only measure
How
that
do
they
you go from playing clips of women that are clearly like in the Wicca, Buddhist world, right? The whole John Lennon thing, whatever, and go from that to them like, oh, the guy from Korn that got saved and he's bad too. What the fuck are you doing, man? How do you do this? How do you jump?
live by is if it
Nothing
feels
is
good,
consistent.
then it's right. And most people who are into this have morality problems.
I'm right.
No, man. Look. Oh, and now what is happening? So he's like attacking. You're right. You were totally right about what you said earlier. He's just using this to attack his own religion, which like is so ironic. It's hilarious because it demonstrates just how bullshit your religion is. If even you can't agree with you. Don't you? You guys all believe the same thing, and you're like, but my certain specific fucking thing is the right one, and everybody else is stupid.
The verge of going and getting the tattoo.
You have a moral imperative
She's going to get a
to
tattoo.
speak publicly about some of these more controversial issues.
No, because we try to be like Jesus. Very rarely did Jesus ever talk about morality or
that
social
dude's
issues.
crazy. Okay,
Alan
fair enough with
Watts
that
was
guy.
Episcopalian.
Because holy shit, that was a documentary to watch. Damn, what was it called? All right, I'll think of it. I'll put it in the show notes afterwards. I will find out. I just have to ask Nikki because I can't remember this shit.
Minister.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he thought that the rules were too restrictive, and they actually kicked him out of the clergy. And he ended up renouncing Christianity altogether. And his first wife divorced him, saying that he was just so immoral and so illicit in his lifestyle. There was no way she could stay married to this man. And then you have Helena Blavatsky, and her character was questioned so.
Tomorrow in the news, we see this guy's like, oh man, he's probably sleeping with like 7 dudes. That he's gay and he just hates women or something. I don't know. I mean, I hate to. Never mind, because that.
Many times in her life. I mean, she was accused of fraud over and over and over again. And then you have guys like the famous psychologist Carl Jung, who was a practicer of mystical religions, and he was married to the same woman for 52 years, but he actually lived in.
I actually like Jung more so than the Freudian stuff. It's for that back and forth. So let's see here. It says Carl Jung, 18, really? Wow, I had no idea it was that long ago. It says 1961. Wow, he was damn near 100 years old. Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology, which was rooted in his mystical religious beliefs. I honestly don't. From what I know about Jung, it was not that. As far as I understand, I mean, I don't know much. I know more about like what his theories and stuff progressed into rather than like where they came from. But like,
Open marriage. I mean, the man was completely immoral. And the divine feminine has always been characterized by its desire to just do what feels good. And
so
these people,
this guy's the immoral one, yet he's the one with the fucking 3 mace ball, like, killing machine behind him. Like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, I will smash your goddamn head in. But the guy that thought too much about, like, you know, why people do the things that they do, and rather than behavior, it's more the reasoning behind behaviors. That fucking guy, though, you know.
despise any forms of holiness. And the way to aggravate these people is to say that there are things that you can't do.
Asshole.
There are moral standards by which you must live by. And the mark of the divine feminine is that they are sensual in nature.
Dude, we all have rules that we live by. They're just not yours. Okay? It's okay. It's, you know, we just don't want to hurt people. And you do, as long as it agrees with your fucking moral code. You weirdo.
They are not chasing what is good. They're just chasing what feels good to them.
Prove what's good. What is good in your mind? Because it's in the fucking Bible. People murder people in the Bible. You fucking... It says to kill your kid if they talk
And the
back.
final characteristic of a person whose divine feminine has risen is that they become overwhelmingly agreeable.
Oh my God.
They want to get along with everybody, and they don't have any problem with anybody anymore. They're kind of like a hippie, where they're just like, man, everything's cool, everything's good, everybody's awesome, everybody's
How are you arguing against this? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting irritated. What the? How are you arguing against, like, people getting along? You're literally arguing against the definition of good, which is not hurting anybody and people getting along. What the fuck are you talking about? You're literally, are you seriously trying to make an argument that we should not get along? What are you doing, man? Holy fucking shit.
Get along with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Get along with people. What the? If they're not hurting anyone, get along with them. Yes.
Even so, Lord Jesus
Fuck.
Christ, come quickly. Come now to unify.
I believe that the Catholic Church and the Christian Church, we're going to come together. Right now.
They're both Christian churches. By the way, man, I don't know if you know this, but like Catholic, Christian, that's all the same. That's all. In fact, the Catholics are the basis for Christianity, historically speaking.
That's far more in common than what divides us. When you talk about Pentecostals, charismatics.
Wait, those two are different? Wow, I didn't know that. Wait, so charismatic and Pentecostals are different? Because I mean, you can't really. I mean, seriously, the Pentecostals are pretty charismatic. I mean, they do, you know, when they talk and shit. That's charismatic, right? I guess I do not know the distinction between those two.
Evangelical,
it's probably something stupid too.
Fundamentalist, Catholics, Methodist, Baptist, Presbyterian, on and on and on.
Yep, 2,000 times. There's 2,000 different denominations.
And a lot of people look at that and say, what's wrong with that? Well, the problem is that it is agreeable of everything, including sin. It won't stand against anything. It has no problem with anybody.
Wait,
it just can
is he
get
trying
along.
To say that all the religions like get along or something? It's like, and that's what's bad, because y'all don't. Christians fucking hate each other. Look at him. He was literally saying like, "Oh, we gotta get the Christians together with the Catholics, and we gotta do this, bro." Like, because they hate each other, and it's practically the same fucking thing. It's just one is literally eating God, and the other one isn't.
Wrong with anything?
Why do they eat God? Oh shit, I gotta read more. Come on, can you just read the stuff, man? That you put on the screen. Okay, agreeable nature of the divine feminine. Oh my God. Allows it to unite and get along with basically anyone. And this is bad. That's bad. You shouldn't get along with people. Oh my God. What is wrong with these people?
The last main characteristic of the divine feminine is its calls for agreeableness, or another way to put that is calls for unity. The divine feminine can get along with just about anybody, and it welcomes fellowship with any and all. Helena Blavatsky started the Theosophant Society, or the Theosophical Society, and she said this: the chief aim of the Theosophical Society is to reconcile all religions, sects, and nation under a common system of ethics based on eternal verities. Now, one of the main disciples of Helena Blavatsky,
and yours is more the Hitler doctrine, you know. You know, one ring to rule them all, you fucking asshole. What the hell is wrong with you? How are you? And what are you? Why are you writing it down on you? Like, don't let people see. There's prompt. You can afford a fucking prompt thing, man. Like, Jesus. Like, why? Sorry, I'm getting hung up on the wrong stuff.
Blavatsky was Alice Bailey. And Alice Bailey said this: the new age is upon us, and we are witnessing the birth pains of the new culture and the new civilization. This is now in progress. That which is old and undesirable must go, and these undesirable things, hatred, and the spirit of separation must be the first to go.
Because one of our spiritual enemy's greatest strategies is to divide, especially when it comes to the family of God.
We need bridge builders. We need people who can meet in the middle. We can have disagreements, but they can be amicable. Like, we can have differences in opinion, but we could do it in love.
Then, man, we need to be in open dialogue and friendly dialogue with one another.
When we stand together in unity of mission, we are
weird. Okay. So it almost like, so he's literally against what's it called? Respectability politics, but from like totally the wrong side. Like, I respect the anti-respectability, which sounds that sounds antithetical. I respect the anti-respectability politics people, because they're usually like, they are slowing things down, and I understand where they're coming from, but I get that from like the left, right? But at the end of the day, those people that are anti-respectability politics that I'm talking about want what these people are talking about. They want us to be able to live together, and they're trying to figure out a way for us to live together. They just do it in a way that's like, if you're hurting people, fuck you. And I appreciate that. I like that. That I'm with you. Fuck them, right? Because fuck them. They're hurting the whole system. And this guy is just like, no, I'm against respectability politics because you aren't my exact fucking doctrine. Holy shit.
We're going to have to make a real concerted effort to walk in greater unity, to be more gracious to one another.
You see that they want to unite.
Why does he look
like
Ernie? He looks like Ernie. It's like the real life version of Bert and Ernie's Ernie. Sorry, go on.
Religion. They want to unite with all things and merge it all together. These divisions don't really help anybody. This is a bad thing. Let's let our walls.
Look at me like that. I don't have the rule for not making fun of people's appearances. Okay, I have certain rules within that, but I can make fun of people's appearances. Okay, because some people's appearances are fucking funny, especially when they're terrible people. But no, but I won't fat shame, and I won't do things like that. But I will make fun of people's appearances. You're goddamn right. I will.
Let's all come together and let's usher in a world of peace and harmony, and let's all get along.
And you're saying that sarcastically. What an asshole. Holy shit. How are you this dense today? How are you this unself-aware? It's like Michael Scott levels of fucking like can't tell when you're an idiot. nothing's divine feminine because it's nonsense, man. Like, it's all just, come on.
So let's ask the question. We see here, these are the spiritual components, something that is inside of a person whose divine feminine has risen. But if you got a group of people that are all this way and they organize a religion, what would be the characteristics of that? When this religion organizes and systematizes itself, there are three chief,
Did he just say
easy to identify
hold on.
characteristics.
Now we gotta stop for a fucking word. Systematizes. That can't possibly. I'm about to look. Aunt Cherry, are you still watching? Is systematizes a word? All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
The first one is female
Watch
leadership.
it be a word, and I look
now, of
like
course,
an
the
idiot.
main body of these organized religions is going to be made of male and female, no doubt. But when we get to the top, who's actually running the show? Well, it's women that are running it.
That actually makes better sense to me. I actually would advocate for all politicians being women at the end of the day, honestly, because women are better at getting along, or at least legislating to get along.
Another significant characteristic of this religion when it's organized is not only that it has female leadership, but that it also is that it insists on being free from all boundaries. We don't want to be restrained by that. We don't want any fences. We don't want any rules. We don't want anybody telling us what we can't do.
Because those are two things that don't seem like they
Oh,
normally
and
mix very
alcohol is
well.
a motherfucker. Yeah, it's just evil.
I grew up with. I mean, people. Very.
God damn it! What? All right. Sorry. I don't know why. It's because it got to another one of the ad breaks. Every time it gets to an ad break, because we don't have ad breaks, because I paid money to not have ad breaks.
Another significant characteristic of this religion when it's organized is not only that it has female leadership, but that it also is that it insists on being free from all boundaries. We don't want to be restricted.
It's not all boundaries, man. Like, it's just do no harm. Like this, it's simple, dude. Why can't you get, like, it comes from the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, for me anyway, it comes from the opposite end of the spectrum. I try to do, like, as far as like morality goes, like people tend to like go to the well-being thing. I don't think it should go that direction. I think it should be more the opposite. It should be like, do no harm, which is so much simple because everybody has a fucking different idea of what well-being is, right? So if everybody has a different idea of what the best well-being is, then it's really difficult for everybody to agree about what well-being is. But it's a lot easier to get people to agree about what is harmful, right? And so that's the direction that I work from. Do no harm. Don't harm people. If people are like, hey, this hurts me, I don't like it when you do X, don't do X. I feel like that's fucking simple. That's not freedom from all boundaries. That's fucking, just freedom from enough boundaries for us to be able to have a freedom that's reasonable, right? I don't know. I feel like people go about this thing the wrong way because everybody's trying to, philosophy a lot of times tries to not dumb everything down, but like it tries to simplify things into like these systems or these basics, right? That are explain everything, right? And it's like, I feel like the do no harm thing in the Hippocratic Oath was the smartest thing that could have ever been thought of. It's just don't do harm, man. If you're into moral philosophy, that is. Anyway, sorry. Here, let's get back to this. I know you're itching to watch this.
We don't want any fences. We don't want any rules. We don't want anybody telling us what we can't do.
Because those are two things that don't seem like they normally mix very well, at least here, and especially the Christian circles that I grew up in. I want everyone to be able to experience the Beer and Hymns event.
There's a real magic that happens here. There's something that happens.
It's funny, dude. Like I remember, so I was part of this church, man. I was actually it was Calvary Chapel. You know, I'm actually my mom invited me to go watch the movie about the inception of Calvary Chapel, which is Chuck Smith, and it was during the Jesus movement of the hippie times, you know, all that whole thing. And it's very important to her, and I'm gonna go watch it for very different reasons, and she knows that, and that's fun. But so we're gonna go see it. And so their whole thing is like, you know, about like being a hippie and everything, right? You know, in this Jesus movement, right? And fuck, I totally lost what I was saying. Never mind. Let's go back. God damn it. I do that
We all
way
grew up
too much.
singing.
I'm tired.
And then songs that are just deeply spiritual. And being able to kind of evolve them without taking away from what they are in a new way. We created something that we loved and others loved, and the response has just been amazing.
I think it's that's
sorry.
free. I
Okay.
think there are a lot of
That's what I was saying. Yeah, they're totally fine. They were totally cool about like us dressing how we wanted to dress. That was like they were like, yeah, dress how you come as you are, you know, it's cool. And so we were like punk rockers, right? You know, and we had this band and we played at different churches and stuff, right? And you know, I mean, we were screamy, just obnoxious punk rock. And you know, we thought it was cool. And we went to this one church and we were fucking taking all of us because we were all from Calvary, which is super like like they're cool with like how you look. You can look anywhere, like tattoos are fine, whatever, all that shit, right? But but they were fundamentalist as fuck. They were young Earth creationists. You know, they were just very much on that thread. So like but we went to this other church and they were like almost the flip side of it. It was so weird because they were all looking at us like we were fucking aliens, you know. We had like Liberty spikes and just, you know, mohawks and stuff like that, you know, and leather jacks, all of it. But but they were drinking beer and we were like, what the and it was a church event. It was and they were just like all getting late. They were smoking cigarettes like it was nothing. And we were just fucking like, what the hell is happening? You know, it was so funny. Just because it just felt like such a fucking opposite to us, you know. They wouldn't ever dress like they dressed up to go to church. But but they would never you know, look the way that we looked, but they would drink and smoke at church. And we were just like, what the hell? How do you judge us? You know, and it was just, it kind of showed that like we do it this way type of thinking, and you guys are stupid and wrong type, you know, which is like all religion is. All religion is drawing divider lines in the sand that are meaningless to be like, we're over here and you're over there, and that's it. You know? Anyway. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
people that grow up in the church with a certain taboo on alcohol. There are none of those feelings like you have to clean yourself up before you walk into this place, and that definitely comes through.
They like it that they can come and be themselves and not feel like they have to fit a mold.
And when you combine their insistence on having no rules and you combine it with their sensuality, then they start saying things like, well, God is love. And it doesn't matter what I do. God just looks on my heart.
I was brought up Baptist, but
like,
educated
that's
in Catholic
stupid.
school. But I never really felt him until like the first time I got high and went on a bike ride.
And if you share with them from the Bible,
hold on, first of all,
not.
That is phenomenal. Get high and go on bike rides. Okay, I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. And you know, the higher you can get, the better. As long as you can still ride the bike.
And that aggravates them so
sure, you
badly
can remember how to do
because
that.
that goes against their agreeable nature. They just believe everything's okay.
No, they don't, man. I'm sure they have limits. Oh man, I got another. I didn't. I'm skipping. I'm going past that one because I don't care. I'm done doing this. Oh, and another one for the mystery of iniquity. Doth already work.
And lastly, and this is probably the most disturbing of all, not only do they have female leadership and they demand freedom from all boundaries, but they also worship a female god.
Female god. That's it, man. That's it. I'm sure if you went into that church and asked them, you're like, hey, is your God like, male or female? What is that? And they'd be like, female, bro. What are you saying? It's the straw man of all straw men. Straw woman. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not be inclusive there because it's clearly a straw woman in this regard. My dogs, I love you, world. We'll all get through this. God, she said, oh. They're fucking with you, man. They can never get when people are fucking with them. You notice that? It's so funny because it's like all of the queer artists that that are like openly queer and everything, and that do phenomenal music, by the way. Sam Smith, he did the Grammys. It was incredible. I loved it. I thought it was great. And Lil Nas X is like, he's queer as well. And they both use satanic imagery. I wonder why. It's almost as if the people that are literally trying to take their rights are afraid of a certain thing, that has particular imagery associated with it. I know, it's great. That's crazy. Why would they do that? Why would they use that imagery that they know is terrifying to the people that are trying to limit what they're allowed to do in society? Why would they do? Fucking idiots. Whoa, it's creepy. We're getting serious now. Okay. Put our serious faces on.
I promise you, if you send her the Holy Spirit back, I will not get in the way.
These three aspects are the inward aspects of the divine feminine. But the female leadership, freedom from boundaries, and the female God, those are the exterior things, the structural things that they put into place.
What?
That gives them away. This is how you identify these people.
Oh my God, he's just staring at us. I can't read all this. This is just this is nonsense. Why are you using a whiteboard if you have this ability right here? Like what you're doing in this frame.
Now, I want to remind you again that everything God does, Satan imitates it and infiltrates it. This has been a consistent theme throughout the scriptures, and we can see examples of this in history. This mystery religion that started with Nimrod.
Okay, first of all, that's the Night King. And he's, has control of the undead, and he was created by the children of the forest in order to keep humans in check because, we can't, we're going to burn the world down. Obviously.
Babel, which ended up being led by Semiramis.
Oh my God.
Has always evolved and changed, but the core principles of it have stayed the same. And one of the
because you notice, like, they always go back to the fucking Tower of Babel, and it's so funny because they're like, oh man, he united the world, because they think that Babylon was like the world at the one point, right? And so that, like, Babylon united the world, right? And so it's the one world government and all that, and God divided the one world government, and that's why in the end, the Antichrist or whatever is going to unite the world again. It's all based off of that fucking dumbass weird story that's supposed to explain where languages came from. Oh man, they're so simple.
These examples of this mystery religion imitating Christianity and infiltrating Christianity was something called Gnosticism. And I want to tell you that as I was studying this, I thought to myself, this is the most hellish thing I have ever read in my life.
There was a family that moved in, like when we were kids. There was a family that moved in, like down the street that put that sun. It was like a sun with that face that they just showed a minute ago, on their house on the outside. I'm sure you've seen them. They're just like, the sun with the faces that they put out on their house, and my family was like, they're witches. They're witches. And they wouldn't invite them to anything or engage with them at all because of it. Because they put a fucking sun with a face on their fucking house. Witches. Nope, not talking to them.
Now, let me just sum it up for you very simply what Gnosticism believed. Now, biblical creation is something along the lines of this. This is creation, all of it here. Here's earth with mankind. We have that Lucifer is the God of this world. And so we see that God the Father sent Jesus Christ, his Son, down to earth to die on the cross for the sins of mankind, to redeem them. And that if mankind will place their faith in this...
Can I just say that what a stupid plan? Can we just all agree that his plan was fucking stupid? Why would a God do this? Why would a God think that it's a good idea to be like, yeah, no, hold on. I created a place just for the demons and, Satan and hell and everything. I created a place just for him, but fuck, shit, I put him on the fucking wrong place. I put him in the garden on earth. Oh man, and now I gotta go, I guess impregnate a fucking 13-year-old woman, and have me like fucking Predestination movie or whatever. And then yeah, sorry if I ruined that movie. Fuck. I didn't. Yeah, sorry, spoilers. Shit. That was my bad. And then he'll die, and then he'll beat the demon that I put on the earth in the first place. None of this makes any goddamn kind of sense. It is so weird to me that I used to think this stuff was reasonable.
Christ, then they can go to heaven when they die. And all of this is done through something called faith.
This is the stupidest stuff ever.
But Gnostic theology is completely different.
Oh, okay.
The Gnostics believe that there was a female entity called an Aeon that accidentally created the God of the Old Testament, and he was called the Demiurge.
Stop stopping, man. Oh my God. Why do I have to read?
And that the Demiurge in this created the God.
Okay. According to Gnostic theology, the Demiurge was the tyrannical god of the Old Testament that demanded the deaths of those who disagreed with his law and teachings. But man, you can't disagree. That's obviously a different fucking god, man. Like, how do you? It's so obviously different. Like, read the Old Testament and then and then read the New Testament and see that like what everybody thinks, Jesus is. I do not think that Jesus is what people think that he is. It's like, if anybody is like, oh, they don't follow the teachings of Jesus, just ask them what teachings, and they'll get fucked up right from that. They'll just be lost, because the meek, they're gonna inherit. Fuck. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Hold on. Shit. It's like, they don't know. They don't know. They just know what he's supposed to be, which is not what he is.
And that The demiurge created mankind on this planet here within creation and locked them into this prison. And that Sophia knew that she had to unlock mankind from this prison. And so Sophia sent the light bearer named Lucifer to go down to the Garden of Eden and give them the knowledge of good and evil.
This makes so much more sense.
To get you to rise, to get you to see beyond what you've been told.
Adam and Eve fell in the garden. They literally were freed from the prison that the Old Testament God, the demiurge, created for them. So at this point, they had enough light to break free from the Garden of Eden, but they didn't really have enough understanding and light to break free from the whole of creation. And so the Abraxas, which was the God that created Sophia, sent an entity named Jesus Christ to the earth to demonstrate a spirituality that they could have so that mankind, by Christ's example, could escape the whole of creation. Now, the symbol that is often associated with the Abraxas is a body of a human with the head of a rooster, legs like two serpents, and he's carrying a shield and some sort of flailing instrument. And oftentimes we can find the symbol on buildings.
Stop to laugh at that for a second. Why? It's like it's all making sense. So they got to the fucking rooster head thing with the snakelet first. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. No, it's all right. I needed that. All right, here we go. Sorry.
Jewelry and stones, because they believed this symbol had magical powers to it. And the Abraxas was kind of viewed as the all-powerful God of all gods. Some even say if you take his name and you apply the numbers to his name, it adds up to 365, and that's why we have 365 days in the calendar year. And many historians have suggested that as time went on, the name Abraxas evolved into what we now say is abracadabra, which is often known as a magical incantation. You say abracadabra for protection or for
we've heard the
some
song,
sort of
man.
magic to take place. And actually, if you go back to like
song.
the 1200s, you can find the Abraxas symbol on a lot of literature associated with the Knights Templar.
Actually, yeah.
Now, when Christ was sent to earth by the Abraxas,
That's such a good point. They're like, a symbol. What? Snakes for legs. That's fucking weird. And then you're like, yeah, like sort of like 2,000-year-old carpenter ghost that was nailed to a cross that you guys love, yet you're ecstatic that he was tortured to death.
Praxis, he was teaching them a spirituality, an experiential study called gnosis. Now, in 3rd Adam 2, we started at Mystery Babylon in the book of Genesis with Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz, and we went all through the Bible. But in 3rd Adam 3, I want to go to the first century. And one of the very first examples of this Mystery Babylon religion was the Gnostics. And that's why we're bringing this up to you. Now, the word Gnosticism is used to describe a number of different people in the very first century. And they disagreed amongst themselves about the particulars of their theology. Almost all these people.
So it almost sounds like, I don't know, fucking you and your theology and your religion. Yeah, it's weird. I don't even agree. It's not like there's 2,000 denominations of Christianity. Shut up. You're the one that's disagreeing with everybody.
Their belief system lined up with the divine feminine almost perfectly. All the Gnostics were known for their inclusion of females into the leadership of their ministries. Not only they had female leadership, but they also believed in freedom from boundaries. According to their theology, the God of the Old Testament was the demiurge, and he was a bad guy. I mean, he was a tyrant. He was evil. And so all those thou shalt not Testament were there as like shackles from a prison.
If your whole thing is about protecting the children, he was a bad guy, man. He fucking killed kids like a lot. And he even says like, blessed is he who dashes the heads of the children on the rocks. So, or the babies, actually, I think it says. I know, dude. No, yeah, dude. Oh, what? Just answer. Wait till you see later. Like, I mean, I'm gonna keep covering this guy because he's fucking. Boy, he's hilarious. First of all, I mean, come on. this is the most fun I've had in a while watching. But that's the one through line. Is you're right. And I always say like he hates women, but you're right. He's just terrified of them. It's not even that he hates them. He's just fucking terrified of women. Yeah, totes. That is.
And Jesus came to set us free from all that, so that all that's just null and void. We can just throw all that law stuff out.
The Jerusalem Council was saying to the Gentiles, you are not accountable to the Ten Commandments. You're not accountable to the Jewish law. We're done with that. God has done something new.
He did a whole video about why he thinks this guy's actually gay. Yeah, it was gross. And I'm sure the reason he particularly picked a video with him wearing a pink shirt is not an accident, because he really does not like this guy. He fucking hates him.
Some of you grew up in really religious environments where, God wasn't happy unless you were depressed,
Thou shalt not obey the Ten Commandments because those aren't your commandments. Yours are better.
It didn't even count as church unless you had to endure it. You need to move on past that. God is doing a new thing. I mean, lift your hands, lift your heart.
God is doing it. God is doing a new thing. That's a DC Talk song. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back. And let me pick, we'll do this one. It's kind of cool. And all right. All right. Hide that. And all right. Gotta do that so I can hear stuff. All right, here we go.
Be free in his presence.
church leaders, the church leaders who were closest
Wow,
to
you
the
guys didn't
action,
leave.
who understood better than we ever will. Church leaders unhitched the church from the worldview, the value system, and the regulations of the Jewish scripture.
And now Jesus came to show us a new and living way, and so none of that stuff really matters anymore. All that matters is this spirituality that we experience, just gnosis. And so forget about all that law stuff. Just have this spiritual experiences and you'll be okay. So they had feminine leadership, they had freedom from all boundaries, and then lastly, they had a female goddess that they worshiped. The Christian Trinity is God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. And the Gnostics, their Trinity or form of that was, of course, you had the Abraxas, which would be the equivalent of God the Father.
That's what I was thinking.
Christ, who was God the Son. And the third part of their Trinity was Sophia, and she was a woman. Matter of fact, the Gnostics were all.
She was a fucking woman. What? You can't just, have a woman. She was a fucking. That was weird the way that I feel like that was the best demonstration there. Jared's absolutely correct on that. And that was a what? What?
Sophia was wisdom in the book of Proverbs. And they said that she was the divine wisdom from heaven. And so back in the first century, you have Bible wisdom, and then you have what the Gnostics called their wisdom, which was a woman. Their wisdom was Sophia. And I find it interesting to note that the book of James pins down that there are basically two wisdoms. There's a godly wisdom, and then there's another form of wisdom. And James 3:15 says, this wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
Well,
that sounds like the divine feminine. Could it be that this verse was put in the Bible to show that there are two wisdoms? One comes from God.
My God. It is like the stream of consciousness of an insane person. That's what this is. And it's like apophenia, and it's like absolute worse, which is just our brains just like to find connections and things, man. Like that's just what our brains do. It was advantageous for us in our evolution, and so we can see the face, on Mars. I mean, that's pareidolia, but pareidolia and apophenia are basically the same thing. Pareidolia is simply the visual form of apophenia. Like you're looking up at the clouds, right? And you're like, oh, it's a fucking unicorn. That's pareidolia, but it's still technically apophenia because like you're seeing a connection in things that aren't actually there. It's finding connections out of meaningless noise, right? And it's just the visual version of that. And this is like the perfect representation of all of that.
There does not. And matter of fact, one of those wisdoms, even the Bible says it's sensual, which is a mark of the divine feminine.
Oh God,
and no matter how absolutely insane this all
sounds, that's a good point.
This is mystery religion, and it does change throughout time. But the principles
and what a weird thing to be afraid of, dude. Like, so earthly, sensual, devilish equals feminine. Yeah, how the fuck did you get there, man? Talk about a non sequitur. Like, what are you talking about? Earthly, sensual, devilish. Like, I could say that about. How is that not men? What are you talking about? Like, men are the ones that are fucking like chasing after sensuality and being touched and like all that shit. They're definitely earthly because they're on Earth. I don't know any other definition for that, but that would mean devilish is definitely not feminine. That is that's masculine if you ask me, but holy shit. And this guy's like, obviously feminine. What? How weird, man.
Given you are consistent no matter what name or form it takes. Now, from Gnosticism till today, it does seem like there's a pretty clear line of succession of this mystery religion, because although these religions have different names, They all operate by.
And that was, and he went over. Yeah, exactly. It's Andrew said, it's like he's afraid a woman is going to get him, in quotes, with their sexuality. And he goes over this whole thing in the beginning a dozen fucking times of like, if he can get the woman, well, then the woman's so snaky and fucking, seductive that she can convince everybody else. That's why Satan in the garden went after the woman, because then she can convince everybody because she's sexy. What, I don't even know. Like, it's just wow. And yeah, dead on. Yep. That's a that's a thing that he thinks. Oh God.
The same principles of the divine feminine. From Gnosticism, you have Marcionism, which was started by a man named Marcion. And it's interesting to note that
I figured
Polycarp said that Marcion was the firstborn of Satan.
I figured it wasn't Toby. It was like, maybe we should call it Marcionism.
The first century Christians hated this religion. And then from Marcionism, you have Manichaeism, which was a merger of Zoroastrianism and biblical language. And then from Manichaeism, you have another religion evolving around 300 AD. That
Manichae? Maybe his name was Manichae. He's from Florida.
That is what we now call the Roman Catholic Church. And that church is very mystical, and they believe in a feminine goddess.
Oh my good God. She's the mother of God, man. Like, why the fuck did God make it so that women bring life into the world? I don't know, particularly the life of the guy you think is so special because he was murdered to death. Not because he was a bad guy, but because he was a good guy. Like, that's not fucking batshit crazy. Like, that shit kills me now. I'm just like, and I know I repeat that, but like, holy shit, what a weird thing to be like, oh no, we like, this dude is super cool. And we're so happy he was murdered to death. What the fuck is wrong? Oh no, it's a sacrifice, but you just don't get it. Like, what? It's the dumbest shit ever.
And then sometime later, around the 12th century, you have the emergence of the Kabbalah, which was the Jewish mystical form of this religion. And then later down the road in the 1600s, around the time of the Reformation, you have the rise of a religion called the Rosicrucians. And then from the Rosicrucians, you have the rise of the Masonic Order. And from the Masonic Order, you have groups springing out like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which Aleister Crowley was a member of. And then from that, you have another group
Hold on. Could we not do this with their fucking shit? Could we not do this with like, okay, and then you have Catholicism, and then from Catholicism spread Protestantism, and then from Protestantism was like evangelicalism, and then we could just do this with their stupid bullshit too, man. Like, this isn't anything special. Like, you're not making your case very well. Let me just put it that way. When your shit like is basically the exact same thing, just through a different line of bullshit. Wow.
Called the Theosophants, and Helena Blavatsky was one of the main leaders of that group. And then from Theosophy, you have a young lady coming out of that named Alice Bailey, and started like, her own group. And
they're sycophants for theology, they're Theosophants.
Now known as the mother.
Oh, don't mess up. Come on. Fine. All right, here we go. I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay. Don't move too much when you're touching the mouse. Don't do that. Okay. The soothing music is. I'm feeling it. I'm relaxed.
And then sometime later around the 12th century, you have the emergence of Kabbalah, which was the Jewish mystical form of this religion.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And then later down the road in the 1600s, around the time of the Reformation, you have the rise of a religion called the Rosicrucians. And then from the Rosicrucians, you have the rise of the Masonic Order. And from the Masonic Order, you have groups springing out like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which Aleister Crowley was a member of. And then from that, you have another group called the Theosophants. And Helena Blavatsky was one of the main leaders of that group. And then from Theosophy, you have a young lady coming out of that named Alice Bailey, and started her own group. And Alice Bailey is now known as the mother of New Age religion. And so, although it has different names and takes different
is called
forms,
New Age religion.
It's the same religion. It is the religion of the rise of the divine feminine. So we see that this religion is constantly evolving, yet at the same time it stays the same, which in of itself is
fascinating. You just named a bunch of different things, and it said they were all the same thing, man. I guarantee you, if we like got some type of scholar that was able to break this stuff down, they would, no, those were all completely not related in the way that you're trying to make them related.
Fascinating how it can do that, but it can. And so we can see the last few evolutions of this religion, how it went from Theosophy with Helena Blavatsky into New Age theology with Alice Bailey. Well, what was the next evolution, and has it happened? Well, I think it has. The next evolution that this Mystery Babylon divine feminine religion took was from Theosophy.
What is that?
The New
Stop
Age
saying Theosophy.
to the New Apostolic Reformation. Although it's not called New Age
deep,
and it's
man.
not called Theosophy, it basically is the same religion in that it is mystical in nature, it is very sensual in nature, and it is very agreeable in nature. And then when this religion organizes itself to
agreeable. It's a good. First of all, how is yours not like? Isn't yours like sensual in it? I mean, there's. I guess not. Theirs is very just cold and dark and shitty. Just it's bad. It's just a bad and boring. I mean, my God, he's using a whiteboard, man. Like what? This is your movie. You can put stuff on the screen. You don't need a whiteboard. You just demonstrated that, and yet you're using one. You know, somebody was arguing with that in the producer room. Like, dude, we can just, why don't you just tell us this? No, I think the whiteboard really sells it. You know, people need to see my whiteboard. But we can just write but they can't see me writing it though. How are they gonna understand it if they don't see me as I'm writing?
a physical body. It is marked by female leadership, a freedom from all boundaries. It doesn't tell anybody how to live. And then lastly, this group worships
hold on. How do you have only female leadership if there's no fucking boundaries? Wouldn't that mean that there's no leadership? Because that would be a fucking boundary, man. Right? My good God, this guy's he's just do some just a tiny bit of thinking, man. Just a little bit. Like I'm not thinking well right now. I've been up for almost 48 hours at this point, and I'm drinking alcohol, and I'm doing better thinking than you. That's not good, man. That's bad on your part. Holy fuck.
Feminine God that they call Holy Spirit. And
I'm waiting for it.
Holy Spirit that they worship.
I'm sorry. I'm going to call it. People do, but I don't mean to. Yeah, I'm waiting for that one. And the Illuminati. I say, here we are. All right. Yeah, full fucking circle to the grand fucking conspiracy of nonsense. Like, wow, I've never seen. He did a lot of. I mean, I wouldn't call it thinking, but he, he really planned this whole thing. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he does shows like I do. He's just like, I don't know, drop thing, and then I'll start talking, and then I'll make it make sense to the next thing based on the nonsense I write. I don't know.
Not the Holy Ghost of your Bible.
What? How do you make agreeable
now, I know
a bad
so
thing?
far we have
What
thrown
a weird. How do you make that a bad, like, that's a problem? Like, oh man, they were agreeable. Like, anytime somebody was like, yeah, they were agreeable, I'm like, that fucking asshole. Like, what? Why would that be a bad thing? Like, when somebody says somebody's agreeable, aren't they a good? Like, isn't that good? Like, wow. Way to be like, no, you're supposed to be disagreeable. We need everybody to be fighting. What? How do you not get that? Like, we need everybody hating each other all the time. What? Jesus Christ. Didn't Jesus come to set the captives free? I don't, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Came to be a sword and set the captives free. I don't know. That's a good, that's actually a good question, though. I'm just gonna let that one ring out. Let's play that up on the screen there.
And we have made an astounding claim that modern Christianity, more specifically the New Apostolic Reformation and those around it, are the continuation of the Mystery Babylon religion. And many people will not be able to
that is some poop and shit, you know.
That's something they won't accept. But we have come to this conclusion through much prayer, much analysis, and through scriptural understanding of what the true biblical church is. And so the 6 points that we've given you about the mystery religion is that it is mystical, sensual, agreeable. Those are the inward traits of it. And then the outward manifestations of this mystery religion is female leadership, freedom from boundaries, and a feminine God. That's how you can recognize this crowd. And this mystery religion is the total antithesis of Bible truth. And I know that this religion tries to go to Christian concerts and involve itself in Christian ministries and conferences.
Apart from the pooping thing, let's talk about why do they keep saying like truth all the time? Like it's always like this the antithesis of truth. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you is actually real, by the way. I don't know if you know what truth is, but it's the thing that I'm telling you is real. Okay, that's what truth is. Okay, man. Yep, sure. Yep, heard that before.
Things like that. The truth is, this is not Christianity. This is another evolution of Mystery Babylon religion.
Mystery Babylon,
using the vocabulary of Christianity. And undiscerning people have no idea what the difference is. And so biblically, let's examine this.
I would love to hear his definition of somebody who has the discernment and someone who thinks they have discernment. That would be really funny to see him try to hash that shit out. How do you tell the difference between discernment and someone who just thinks they have discernment? You'd be like, well, they have, well, I mean, I have discernment. Well, I mean, I don't just think that well, you can tell because just watch him squirm. And then you probably realize that there is actually a toilet behind him and he's actually naked from his waist down there.
Points.
It's embarrassing. He just stands up and walks off and he's naked and we can all see.
Now, the first point about the divine feminine is that it is mystical in nature. Now, mystical religion
up with that
is
one,
based
man.
off of experience. It gets up in front of people and says, I had a vision that this was going on. And they'll explain some very elaborate, very oddly specific vision that they had. And it's very bizarre, and they'll base their religious views off of dreams and visions and things of that nature.
Oh my God!
That's what mysticism is.
Right, yeah, because you Christians never base anything off of fucking dreams or visions or anything. It's not like it's the whole last book of the goddamn fucking Bible. You think
Last night, I had a dream that there was a circle of women. There's about 50 of us. And we were saying, Maranatha, come Lord Jesus.
The pooping thing is messing me up. I can't think straight now.
Make it your cry right now. Maranatha, come Lord Jesus. Maranatha, come Lord Jesus. Maranatha, come Lord Jesus. My spirit was was caught up over in Israel, and it wasn't just a dream. I was literally in Israel.
A voice in your head? Is it a feeling? Is it through prayer? How does God speak to you?
All three of those things for sure. It's that's why I kind of, with the idea of religion, I shy away from that. It's more my relationship with God is like no one else's, just like yours with, it's like God is so creative that I can't impose what my belief and what my relationship that I have with him should be like Chip's or should be like yours. He shows up in beautiful, unique ways for all of us.
Right.
And if you go back and look at like Alice Bailey, you'll see that she had encounters with an entity that she called a hoot kumi. And she said that this entity was an interdimensional being and came and spoke to her, and that she actually wrote the thing that said.
A hoot kumi. Oh no, we had a hoot kumi. Sorry. It was a hoot.
Christian churches are doing basically the same thing.
I'm going to say that from now on.
Bible Christianity is Bible-based. We get our teaching and our doctrine from the Bible. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture of God. And it's
like from the fucking Bible, dick, you fucking ass. He's just so serious about that. Oh man, why did you say that? I'm sorry, but Aunt fucked me up on this one. Now I'm trying to do a video to actually remember what I'm talking about. Okay. No, I got this. We're good. It's God damn it. Why did you do that? It's all your fault, Andrew.
It's profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. This is where we get our theology from. Now, the difficulty that the average churchgoer will have with this is that these false teachers will use the language of Christianity. They throw all that in there in the mix in an attempt to validate their views. But when you strip away all of the veneer of what they're saying,
hold on, what's the whole fucking thing of Daniel about like him like being able to interpret dreams? That's like, it's so weird when they forget what their fucking thing is. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yeah, and they fucking like interpret dreams. Are you fucking what? Evil, feminine. They're just women are just, they're bad. They're bad. Yeah. And just like, I'm like, do you not remember your own thing, man? How do you forget your own stuff this quickly without a goddamn blow to the head? How do you do this? It's impressive. This is impressive. This is an impressive level of nonsense that I feel like I've never encountered this before. Because of people like this, I have these videos popping up just randomly in my feed as if, this like, yeah, you want this, right? And I'm like, yep, I actually do, but not why you think I do. But
it's not Bible based. And the word.
God damn it. Sorry. I'm in Florida, man. Our internet's saying fuck you to us all the time because they don't like to say it to see there.
The modern Christian churches are doing basically the same thing. Now, Bible Christianity is Bible-based. We get our teaching and our doctrine from the Bible. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 3:16, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine.
Hold on. Is that what based means? It's based on, I'm boss. This is crazy. I had no idea. I thought that Bible based meant like, it was like free based, but anyway, but with the Bible. Oh my God.
For reproof, for correction.
It's late.
This is where we get our theology from. Now, the difficulty that the average churchgoer will have with this is that these false teachers will use the language of Christianity. They throw all that in there in the mix in an attempt to validate their views. But when you strip away all of the veneer of what they're saying, it is not Bible based. The next aspect of the divine feminine is that it's sensual in nature. And the word sensual basically means that
you can literally do that with anything, man. Y'all are constantly telling each other. I mean, and I'm talking fundamentalists to fundamentalists. The one fundamentalist is telling the other fundamentalist that their fucking doctrine is not Bible based. That's the whole fucking thing. That's your whole bag, man. Is just saying that other people aren't Bible based, while you are. While they sit there and say that, hey, this Bible verse over here matters more than the one that you think matters more than the other one that they think matters, and then it just goes on forever. And it's just never ending, because remember, your concept of what is good is division. Yet, let me just, let's just.
It's gratifying to your flesh. It feels good. And that's what a sensual person is. And this religion is very sensual in that it wants to feel good constantly. It doesn't want anything out there that would make it feel bad about itself. It is overwhelmingly positive constantly. And it hates to feel bad. So it's seeking everything it can to feel good. Now, the book of Jude, verse 19 says that there'll be those in the end times.
Can you fucking repeat yourself more? He reminds me of there's this one part of, and it's funny too, because it's like, if you don't know this movie, it's like difficult to explain this, but like there's this one movie called The Man That Knew Too Little, where it's Bill Murray and he doesn't realize that he's in the middle of a big spy thing. And he thinks he's acting in an interactive movie thing, right? Where he's pretending to be in a movie, right? And so he thinks he's acting the whole movie. Anyway, so this guy's, he comes down to one point and he's like, there's some sort of letters where he's blackmailing. They're blackmailing some British minister, with these letters. And he's like, I know about the letters. And they're like, letters? What letters? What are you talking about? And he's like, the letters. She told me about them. She told me all about the letters. How do you think I know about the letters? That's how I found out, was because of the letters. It's like just saying the same thing over and over again. And it's because he doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's trying to pretend to. And it's like so much like this. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry, that didn't make sense, but watch that movie and you'll be like, oh my God, this is the best movie ever. Like, it's hilarious.
Sensual, having not the Spirit. And that Spirit word is capitalized. This is the Holy Spirit. And these sensual people are feeling good about God, but they're not even saved. Now, the book of James, chapter 3, verse 15 talks about a wisdom. There's a way of thinking in this world that's not from God. And it says that this wisdom is...
1 second. Bible Christianity is Bible. How do you figure that out? I don't know, man. I know. It's no. I know. It's fucking crazy, right? But the problem, see, but this is the problem with their whole fucking thing, is that it's all Bible based, man, because it's a book of fucking nonsense, man. It's crazy. It's stupid and it's nothing. And they're all just like, no, this means this. And they're like, no, that means that. And then they just, they're just, and that's the whole thing, But they all think they're right. And they can't get out of their head enough to just be like, maybe mine is just true to me because that's what I was taught. And maybe that's just what I find convincing to me based on this shit. And maybe I'm wrong. They can't, they just, that's asking way too goddamn much, to expect to do, thinking. I just figured out that the sex toy on the wall is what he uses on himself when he prays. Yeah, it's oh man, what is that? didn't they used to like whip themselves? He's like, oh, I go full fucking breaking bones, bro. Okay, you don't even know. I just whip myself with a goddamn 3-chained mace. Yeah, that's oh my god, man, it's not even fun. Like that wouldn't even be fun sexually, and I find a lot of weird stuff fun sexually. So it's just we're gonna blow past that. I'm not gonna explain that.
Sendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. Now, this sensuality desires positivity constantly. It absolutely craves it. It has to have some sort of feel-good message constantly, because that is the message of sensuality. Don't let anybody put you down, and just love everybody.
Dude, you can just like hold on. You can just change frames, bro. You don't have to do the fucking TV fuzz thing from the 90s music videos. What are you doing? Just fucking change from one thing to the other. Who's doing who decided to be like, no, we need TV fuzz in between literally everything. Jesus Christ. It's like the god awful movies things are like, but that's at least just so simple that I don't care. You know what I mean? It's so like just, it's just like, and it's clearly somebody's doing it with their mouth. It's done for. Am I good? Did I do it right? You guys, are we good? That's what I picture every time I hear that thing on god awful movies. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, Scathing Atheist. But yes.
And what these people do often is they preach on the love of God because it makes them feel good. And their verse that they use often is 1 John 4:8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And all they do is just quote the last 3 words in that verse. God is love. And they talk about God is love, God is love, God is love. And God is this love.
God damn it. I'm sorry. You have to go back to the stupid Bible verse part.
Down and just love everybody.
Dude, your whole thing, it's what's sad about this whole section here is that like it's all the like even the music that he's playing. Like, is your music fucking different, man? Is your music not emotionally manipulative? Huh? Is your what you do fucking hymns? And hymns are fucking emotionally manipulative too, man. It was just before they had instruments, apparently. Because oh my god, the chording on hymns is ridiculous. It's stupid. It's not, they didn't know how to write songs. That like they literally just wrote the words and they're like, put music to this, and you're just like, fuck you, man. No, this doesn't go to music, man. It's just we're going back and forth from fucking 2 chords the whole time, and it's really weird and annoying.
And what these people do often is they preach on the love of God because it makes them feel good. And their verse that they use often is 1 John 4:8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And all they do is just quote the last 3 words in that verse. God is love. And they're talking about God is love.
Those fucking assholes. They're trying to like make love like it's a good part of the religion. This is bullshit. What assholes? Am I right? Like Jesus said, I brought a sword. Okay, I didn't bring peace and love. I brought a fucking sword, and I hate you, and I will kill you with a sword.
God is love. God is love, and God is love. But this love is detached from Bible truth, and the deception here is that yes, God is love, but these people love everything. They love God. They love their church.
Man, these people, come on, it's gotta, come on, man. Like, I mean, it's It's 2023 here. Can we move past these people thing? Come on. Jesus Christ. Like,
love their pastor, but they also love sin too. It's not that these people love God. It's that they love everything.
I think I'll cause controversy, but I think there's one flaw in the Bible. And that flaw is there is something impossible with God. It's impossible for you to be alone and unloved by God. It's just impossible. It's the impossibility. You're loved by God.
Oh, that
and they
is
claim to be
such a
loving people. Sure.
hold
But
on.
they
That is oh god, that is it's the corn guy again. He's the one that got saved in corn. And yeah, that is exactly the type of dumb shit that I would have heard at my fucking church. I'm sure like they would say some some stupid shit like that. Like, there is an impossible thing God can do. Oh yeah. He can't, murder people. Okay. Or whatever, they always say some stupid weird thing. This is like what? Like, I mean, they never say there is one impossible thing that God can do. He can never make a rock that is so big that he can't lift it. Okay, he can't do that. That is an impossibility. Keep the emotional music going, please. Come on, give me.
love everything, including the things that God hates. And they'll never preach on 1 John 2:5, but whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. They'll never talk about how.
Why? What do you like? Why would you think that that's the case? You think they've never taught on that fucking verse? Really? But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are. God damn it, Jesus Christ. We are in him. No, that's just impossible. That's just crazy for these people to teach about. Oh my good God. What? Why? Why would that? Why? How could they not? They can come up with some stupid shit too, man. All the dumb, like they got a whiteboard too, man. It's like fully functional, a fully functional whiteboard that can they can underline shit, draw boxes,
is defined by Bible truth. It is a generic sensual love that, of course, it loves God, but it loves everything. And these people would never preach on 1 John 2:15, where it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. I want to tell you that the love of God.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing that is in the world. The fucking internet, man. And what do you love? You love the internet. Yeah, you do. Don't even tell me you don't. Okay, because that's your whole thing. That's your whole source of revenue at this point. And this dude's got like some. I think it was like 150,000 subscribers. He loves the internet, and that's really of this world, man. But tell me again why the other people that use the internet and all the other stuff are wrong again. Go ahead.
Has limits, it has boundaries to it, and they don't believe that. They believe God loves everything all the time, no matter what. And they say God is love, but they do not say love not the world. They don't understand that it's all positive. It's never negative.
Overwhelming, never.
Look, I like the type of Christianity that Hitler likes. Okay, look, okay. Sometimes God hates people. The Jews. Okay, look, it's holy shit, man. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're literally like doing the whole, like, it sounds like he's doing Hitler stuff. Is it not? He's like, all right, God doesn't love everything, especially them goddamn Jews that killed it. Like, whatever, like, it's just, it sounds like Nazi fucking Christianity, it just does.
Ending, reckless love of God.
Got some good friends of mine that have stopped by on the couch. We've got Chad, Justin, and Carl.
I love you, man. I want you to know you're loved.
Thank you so much.
And they'll never use 1 John 3:18. My little children, let
I'm going
us
to be
not
honest,
love
that
in
was
word,
really
neither
creepy
in tongue,
when that
but in
whole thing
deed
happened.
and in
Just saying.
truth. So this love is detached from truth. Therefore, it's love. It's just sensuality. Now, the last inner aspect of the divine feminine nature.
Stop messing up. Sorry, y'all.
They don't understand that it's all positive. It's never negative.
Overwhelming, never ending, reckless love of God.
Got some good friends of mine that have stopped by on the couch. We've got
He did a video and he did one of those weird car videos. But he's like, no, I'm gonna sing, bro. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing. And you're weird for not liking me singing.
Justin and Carl. I love you, man.
I want you to know you're loved.
Thank you so much.
What?
And they'll never use 1 John 3:18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So this love is detached from truth. Therefore, it's not love. It's just sensuality. Now, the last inner aspect of the divine feminine nature is that it is agreeable in nature, meaning that it can literally get along with anything. A word today that describes this is tolerance. And you hear so many people talking about tolerance today, in that we need to get along with everything. And because truth is subjective, your truth and my truth may not be the same, but we can set all that aside.
No, man, look.
But Pastor Carl Lentz,
I hate it when people do this. And I really actually appreciated Neil deGrasse Tyson's take on it, because he was like so fucking polite about the whole matter, right? Because he was like, no, I'll give them their personal truth, right? And their personal truth is that Jesus is Lord, blah, 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 right? And then a objective truth was something you could demonstrate to be the truth. And he was like, I'm going to separate these because he's being nice. He's a nice guy. And I appreciate that about him, right? And he was like, the one thing, and the fact that he doesn't understand that we have to go so far out of our way to demonstrate that, like, what is the objective truth is the objective truth, to the point where, like, we have to reject what we might think about truth, to the point of, like, I think this might be the case, but let's test it over and fucking over again scientifically. It is just it's it's subjectivity is annoying. It is because there's so many, like, our personal understandings of, like, the world get in the way of everything, and and that's why we have to be able to demonstrate what we think is actually true, and that's what science tries to do. And I appreciate that about Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, no, let's separate these two things. Let's say it's your personal truth that Jesus is Lord, but there's also this objective truth that gravity, like, things fall to the ground, because fucking gravity, because of mass and all this stuff, right? And as if these two things, are not, they're not similar. Like, we actually do have to get outside of ourselves to be able to demonstrate that something actually is true. And they're just not understanding that concept, to the point where they're just like, look, no, I just got to say stuff. I got a whiteboard though. What? What? This is objective. This is objective. I have a whiteboard. I underlined it, man. Like, and we're supposed to be like, yeah. And it's so funny how they don't understand that. They're like, oh, just because you're charismatic, just because you, like, underline things on your fucking whiteboard, doesn't mean you're right. It just means that you're charismatic, the type of religion that you apparently disagree with.
The most Christ-like people that I know. I noticed him being willing to associate with anyone and everyone on the same level, and I want to be more like that.
There's a total different attitude on the part of Roman Catholic leadership today toward me and my work and toward the Protestants in general. No, I think it's good. I think we have dialogue, we have understanding. I can now have complete fellowship with Roman Catholic people, and there are no barriers that existed 10 years ago.
God. You're even disagreeing with him?
Our relationship to one another should be one.
What? They're disagreeing with Billy Graham. The Billy Graham is too fucking far right or far left. I'm sorry. For these fucking nutbags. Like fucking Billy Graham just out here saying that he accepts people. This is ridiculous. This is right. Fuck this guy. Am I right? Am I right? Let me make a video. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with you?
One of unity and partnership
What
and
an ass.
joy and trust and grace. Let's let that be the close-handed part here. And then let's begin to have dialogue around these secondary issues that tend to divide us.
And the divine
That's the guy they
feminine
hate.
absolutely abhors
Oh,
the idea
see,
of
and like
any
look at that. Like he was like clearly that dude was like, you know, not as masculine as him with his, you know, blue suit and all, you know, standing behind his purple fucking wall with his 3 chained mace, you know. I mean, that makes it pretty masculine. He's like, I can bash your face in. But like, wow, dude. And he did a whole video about why that guy is gay. So just saying, just throwing that out.
separation from anybody. It wants to unite and get along with everybody. That's what makes it feel good. It's like this kumbaya religion. Everybody unite, get together. We can all work together. This is wonderful. That's the divine feminine. In 2 Corinthians chapter 6, the Apostle Paul gives this idea.
Everything's a divine feminine to you, man.
Christ with Belial. That's Baal worship. He's saying, you know, you Christian people can't go hang out with those pagans. It just doesn't work. And in verse 17, he says,
Baal worship is sacrificing your children to a being that has a fucking cow head or whatever, man. It's not. Oh my god! I swear, it's like he doesn't know. He just thinks that he's talking. He just thinks that he's talking to the stupidest people, and unfortunately, I think he actually is. But he's talking to the dumbest people ever. That he can just say whatever he wants without anybody knowing anything. That's so sad. And again, making the argument that like, hey, us getting along is a bad thing. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. They do not believe that because they believe that that is unloving because of its negative nature.
He doesn't want to take away our fun. He wants us to take the things away that's hurting in himself. That's it, man. He's not trying to take away your fun.
So his argument is that he's literally trying to take away fun. Like, honestly, I mean, and this especially pisses me off because my whole philosophy surrounds fun. Because fun is, well, it's fun. I mean, it's how are you against fun? Like, really, you're against fun? You're like, yeah, it's fun, so fuck that. What is wrong with you? Like, you're, god damn, what an, how, all right, I gotta calm down. All right, I need to take a Valium or something. This is insane. Because, oh my god, what are you talking about? This is frustrating. It's frustrating. What do you mean? Like, everything, my whole philosophy is have fun and do no harm. Actually, I'm sorry, in reverse. Do no harm and have fun. Those are my philosophy of everything. That is the grand, that is the Brentley grand philosophy of everything. Have as much fun as you possibly can without hurting anybody. That is, and I feel like we can't go wrong with that. Like, to make an argument that we can go wrong with that, and I'll disagree with it.
This religion organizes itself into a physical body. It is marked by female leadership, a freedom from all boundaries.
Where were we? God
fellowshipping with it because they are it. They are the same thing. They are just pretending to be Christians. This is the deceptive nature of Mystery Babylon religion. These people are not Christians.
Oh man, all right.
They believe.
So real quick, look, he said in his other videos, it's plural. He is said over and over again that there are only two religions. There are the true Christianity and Mystery Babylon, which includes Satanism, entertainment, and I think one was just like Satan or something. It was nonsense. It was like a list of things like these are all, and he's like, and all of these are just the what did he say? Mystery Babylon. Yeah. This Mystery Babylon. So it's literally just the Christian, non-Christian dichotomy, where it's like, the guy's like, it's like, you listen to non-Christian music? No, I just listen to fucking music, you weirdo. Like, what are you talking about?
Believe is a total 180 of the Word of God. And these people love to talk about how free they are. They've been set free. But the question you have to ask yourself, they've been set free from what? What is it that you've been set free from? The truth is, these people have not been set free from sin. They've been set free from a system.
But what if you're in sin? What if you're the one that's wrong? No, that can't be the case. No, that's just not even. No. All right. Well, I'm sorry, but it's like literally 2:30 here. But thank you so much for hanging out, dude. This was seriously fun, and and that's my whole philosophy. Not even joking about that. Like I mean, I sort of, but like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And Antier, thank you for everything. All of the just correcting my incorrectness.